Okay, so let's start working with the pen tool now. Here's the pen tool right here. And as we look at the pen tool, notice that there is an asterisk next to the pen tool, and that means that we have not started a path yet. And so remember, with the pen tool, we can click and notice that the asterisk goes away. If we just click and not drag, we create corner points. And notice that when I come back here, you see that little circle. That means we're completing a path and creating a polygon. Pen tools make paths and polygons. And you make a polygon by finishing a path and connecting the end of the path to the beginning of the path, like that. And then we see the asterisk again. You can do curve points by clicking and dragging, clicking and dragging, clicking and dragging, and clicking and dragging. Now notice that I am dragging my mouse from left to right, and then I'm dragging my mouse from up to down. So you're always dragging in the direction of the next point. So I would not be dragging this way back to the old point because that makes a weird curve. We always want to be dragging towards the next point. So we're always thinking ahead, where's the next point going to go? Like that. And then once you come to the end, notice that there is no control bar there for the left side. We actually have to drag it out again to make the control bar equal on both sides. So let's make a perfect circle using the pen tool. So I'm going to kind of bring down some guides here just to give us an idea as to how to make a perfect circle with the pen tool. And I'm just making these guides equidistant away from each other. So I'm using the guides up at the top as a guide, the rulers up at the top as a guide to where to place these guides. And I'm doing this just so I can show you how to create a circle, a perfect circle. So I'm going to start right here with my pen tool, and I'm going to click, and I'm going to hold the shift key down because the shift key constrains it to 90 degrees. And you want to be, if this is 0 here and this is 100% out here and this is 50%, you want to be around 60% right there. And then I'm going to come down here and then click, hold the shift key down, drag to about 60% right there, and then come down here and click and drag to about 60% right there, and then click and drag to about 60% right there, and then come back to the beginning and drag it out to about 60%. Let's make sure that we have a stroke. There we go. So if I create an actual circle using the shape tool, let's see how close I am. Holding the shift key down and down to about there. I'm pretty close. So I'm going to send this back so I can get back to the previous one. So I hit the control key, or I right click, and then this pops up, and I can go arrange and send it back. And let's see, where is, so here's our original one. So this is a little bit far, so we want to be a little bit closer. Maybe it's more like 55%. So again, I'm looking at this point right here as 0%, and then this is 50%, and this is 100% of this arc right here. So there's a perfect circle. You can move it away from the previous circle. But why would we draw a perfect circle when we can just create a perfect circle with the shape tool? I'm going to get rid of these guides. So if I just click and drag over them, that highlights them. And if I hit the delete key, they go away. So let's look at the pen tool one more time. Let's draw some paths. Now if I want to stop right here, I just hit the escape key and it goes away and I start drawing a new path. Hit the escape key. Start off with, there we go. Now, there we go. I'm just clicking and dragging, making curve points, or I can make corner points. I can hit the escape key, which deselects it, and then we come back to creating a new line. Hit the escape key. Now we could add lines together. Now notice that when I put my mouse over a anchor point right there, I get that slash. That means it's going to re-hook up to this line. So if I click right there, now you can see that whole line is selected. You see all the anchor points illuminating right there, and then we can come around, and now that is a different symbol. So it's an anchor point with a line through it, and that means you're going to attach this line to another line. So if I click that, now they're all together. I have the asterisk, which means I can start a new one, or I can go over this and get the slash, which means I'm going to continue on an old one. And then there's the circle, which means I'm going to finish this and close the polygon. It goes from a path to a polygon as soon as we close this. Now some of the things that you need to worry about, if I hit the delete key a couple of times, that'll delete it, is with paths as opposed to polygons. And if I hit escape and then I fill this, so I'm going to click on this area right here to bring this forward. So you want the fill in front of the line if you want to fill something. And I can just click here. Notice that it just creates a fill and it assumes that this is the stopping point. So it's kind of a weird fill. I always tend to use polygons instead of paths to create the fill that I want. It's a little bit more controlling. So if I do this, and there you go. That's better. I'm going to fill this with none. And I'm going to draw another polygon. Let's go to the other tools. So we have add an anchor point, and I can just say if I wanted a new anchor point here, I could just click and there's a new anchor point in which I can grab the handles and move them around. These handles, these control arms are kind of like pulling a rubber band, and so they pull things out like that. The next one is delete an anchor point. So if I don't want this anymore, I can just click delete and it goes back to normal. The next one is the anchor point tool, which allows me to change a curved point by just clicking on it to a corner point. Or it allows me to take a corner point and I click and drag to create a curve point. and there is my pen tool.